One of the oldest rugby rivals in South Africa continues here today on Memorial Day. SACS at home taking on Wynberg. It is a storm, and for Wynberg today, well, everything is on the line for them. They are in search of their first Triple Crown victory since 2014. While for SACS, it's been a disappointing season, but they'll be looking to go out with a bang. Alongside me today in the commentary box is Andre Strauss.
Justin, thank you. Great to be a wet and windy day here in Cape Town. About 50 km/h winds blowing here today, and it's going to be extremely tough for these boys to put on a spectacle for us today.
Wynberg, well, it's their best season since 2014. In that year, in 2014, they won 16 out of 20. In 2018, this season, it's been 12 out of 16. And the lineups, SACS are led by Captain Craig Berlin. Watch out for the prop forward Ethan Berger and Joshua Barrett as well. Ian Patterson, the blindside flanker. Brent van Niekerk is a newbie at 8. Kluti and Reich, well, they're going to be instrumental today if SACS have any chance in this fixture. Robin Aspeling, the grade 11. And then the experienced Ben Mazulo, the outside centre. Ross Letcher at fullback. Wynberg Boys High School, they are led by Captain Mika Schubert, and they have just had a tremendous season. Last year, virtually most of these players were a part of last year's campaign, in which they only managed to win 5 games. It's been a complete turnaround, and these are glorious players. Inga Halu at number 8, watch out for him. Wynberg's wrecking ball. Dylan Munro, the 9, and Carl Lamb at 10 have been great all season. And then watch out for Siam Tanda Nombakuza, third season of rugby. He played against SACS in 2016, 2017 and 2018 at first team level. Wandile Noche at fullback.
Justin, for today's result, you don't have to look any further than the first numbers from 1 to 10. That's where the game's going to get decided. The tackle forwards that puts in the hard work, that wins those physical battles and the confrontations, and then the kicking games from 9 and 10. That is going to be crucial today for them to secure a result.
SACS, or Wynberg rather, should I say, making their way out onto the field, led by Captain Mika Schubert. And Andries, the form of Wynberg, well, considering the weather, it might just nullify that form.
Yes, it will. It's a great equaliser, the weather, and like we've mentioned, Justin, it's going to be critical for these teams to play tactically correct, to use the wind when they have it at their backs, and to hold on to the ball when they need to, and not to throw those 50-50 speculative passes.
So the Berg machine making their way out onto Memorial Day. Happy memories, of course, for Wynberg folk when they won the Triple Crown in 2014 and in 2012 on this very field. And here comes SACS, led by Craig Berlin, the open side flanker. And for most of these players, it's their final game in their first team jerseys. And it'll be an emotional moment, Andres.
Definitely a lot of emotions in this match, Justin, and rightly so. These guys have worked hard all year, and they've put in the hard yards and the sweat, and they deserve to come out of this game with something to hold on to. And these are the days that you remember, hey, these wet, windy days that you fight together as a team to get a result, and you can tell the story for years to come.
So the weather hasn't kept the spectators away. An important fixture. Man in the middle today is Yaku Smith. And it's pretty much a case for Wynberg to either wait another year or Wynberg in the SACS storm. Lutanda Warji, Craven Week player in July for Western Province. Jason Alexander, his hooker, also in that side, and scored 5 tries against SACS in the first game of the leg this season. Dylan Munro will get us underway. Munro, Manar going up for it, and that's a great start there, Andries, for Wynberg.
Great start for Wynberg. They've got the wind at their backs, and that's going to be tough for any side to get out of their half against this strong wind blowing from right to left, as you see it on the screen, Justin. Probably the perfect result for them. Put some pressure on this line out and hope to get some early points on the board.
And Adi Kalipa to throw. Manai's up for it. Good line out for SACS. Inside their 22. Kluti looks to clear. And he finds an exit.
Decent kick there by Kluti. Not the easiest conditions to kick in to handle the ball, and also the line out will be interesting today. Won't be easy to throw the back ball, so they'll compete hard in the front to try and secure some ball, and this is where the game will get won or lost.
Jason Alexander to Schubert. Dylan Munro. Loose pass. And back for it is Kyle Lamb, the fly off. Munro away to Alexander, the explosive hooker, and a try-scoring machine. 23 tries in a first-team jersey over 2017 and 2018. Munro works the short side. Ethan Berger trying to steal it. We come back for the penalty.
Great play here by SACS early on, Justin, holding on to the ball, and just early evidence of how tough it is going to be to handle the ball out here today. Wet at the moment and extremely windy. With a wind at the back, captain says, let's have a shot to goal.
Devin Pretorius, well, he was ill last week in that victory against Bishops. And famously, he was man of the match against Grey High School early on in the season. And he slotted the winner against Rondebosch 2 weeks ago after a try by Marzouk Allen. It'll be an important kick. 79 points to his name in 2018. Carl Lamb has to help him out. And can the Berg machine open the accounts on Memorial Day? Pretorius. Disappointing kick there, Andres.
Not the greatest strike, but let's mention it is extremely wet underfoot and not easy to get your strike in when you're not sure that you're going to have a good strike to get a decent strike on the ball. Not his greatest kick, Justin, rightly mentioned. And I believe that that SACS got off lightly there.
Coach Nick Maurer of SACS looking for an upset. Ross Letcher in picture. We'll take the 22-meter restart. It is blowing a gale. Nombakuza, the outside centre, hitting it up. So Berg have had all the possession, and then a fumble by Alexander the Great.
He's an exciting youngster, isn't he, Justin? When he gets the ball, he explodes onto it with pace, and I'm looking forward to see him run at this SACS defence this whole afternoon. No more evidence here of the difficulty of handling the ball, but really important for the team with the wind at their backs to make use of it while they have it.
Great front row battle coming up. Joshua Barrett, Anani Kalipa and Ethan Berger of SACS, and Warji Alexander and Vitta of Wynberg. Kluti feeds. Van Niekerk at the back gives it to Kluti, who looks for some distance. Mokwena giving chase, and that's a great kick.
Smart kick there by Thurston Kluti, getting his team on the front foot, getting the big man Kabelo Mokwena to go into the front foot and give chase to that. But that's a fantastic result for them. Enter a strong wind and a line out, attacking line out on the 22-meter line of Wynberg.
First chance for Wynberg to put some pressure on. Manai's up for it. Kluti away to Reich. Big Ethan Berger spearheading himself into the Wynberg defense. Can SACS register the first points? They haven't won a home game since Bolville in May. Berger crashing it up on the inside. Clutie goes left. It's whipped around into Joshua Barrett. Anything can happen here. Try time it is. Dean Reich. Andries, what a start for SACS.
Great start for SACS there, Justin. A little dink over the top. Great chase by Dean Reich and finished off, and rightly deserved 5 points for them. Vitally important also the go forward that the forwards gave them during the build up to that try. They held on to it for a number of phases and got rewarded with 5 points.
That's just a great start for SACS. Nick Mara couldn't ask for more. Exactly what they needed. And Wynberg will be under pressure now. So just see something out of nothing. Clutie. And then Reich with the dab ahead collects his own kick. What a start.
Fantastic little kick, and the vision to see the space in behind, and there were probably 4 boys running onto that ball who would have scored it if Carl Lamb or Dean Reich wasn't there. And fantastic start for them, and great vision shown by the fly half.
So Kabela Mokoena will take up the kicking duties after an injury to Matthew Hayes last week, who has swelling on the brain due to a bad tackle. Mokoena. It's over. Well, what a start for the right winger who slots a kick.
Kabela Mokoena also a little slippery underfoot and did well to get that ball right between the uprights. 7 points on the board into this strong wind, and that must be a feather in their cap, Justin.
Munro. With a deep kick. Berlin, the captain, gathers, sends it to Reich. With a solid exit.
A good exit, another good result here for Wynberg. Attacking line out in the half of SACS, and let's see if they can make use of this.
Jason Alexander. Wynberg, of course, were behind to Bishops and Rondebosch in the past 2 weeks, and they had to claw their way back in the game. Will it be a similar story? Scrappy lineouts, but Berg still have it. Munro to Kyle Lamb. Likes the physical stuff, but that time he almost gets manhandled there by Captain Craig Berlin. Space on the left for Shavanga. 2-try Euro against Bishops last week. Kicking in the ruck there. So Yaku Smith brings them back. Penalty to Berg.
Penalty to Wynberg, and you can't kick the ball out of the ruck. That's a new law that came into effect at the beginning of this season, and something the boys will have to catch on to quite soon.
Well, Wynberg, it's all or nothing. Everything is on the line for them in this fixture. 8th in the country, and to remain in that place, they'll have to win here. Lots spills it. Kalipa, the veteran, with the turnover just outside their 22. And here's Ethan Berger, who has just been monumental in a SACS jersey over the past 2 years.
Slightly messy start, Justin. And Wynberg making a lot of mistakes early on in this half, and they do have the wind at their back, and it's critical for them to make use of this wind while they have it, because second half, come second half, it's going to be a whole new ball game for them, and they're going to have to make the hard yards and keep the ball in hand. So vital for them to try and get some points on the board here, to play a bit more constructive rugby, to put some pressure on SACS.
SACS, of course, came close against Rondebosch last week. They were actually winning 24-7 at half time and lost the game, and then they just lost the Bishops 2 weeks ago. Clutie feeds. Is this a turnover? It is. Chance for Wynberg. Wodji has to play at scrum off. He gives it to Liam Lotz. The number 4, Craig Berlin, trying to hold him up with a choke tackle. Pick and go from Wynberg through Inga Halu to then Munro, digging for it. And it's advantage. Be interesting to see what Mika Schubert elects for here, Andries.
Justin, if I was the captain of the side, I'd take the 3 points, settle down the nerves a little and get the kick off, feel it well and get straight back into the SACS half. Great rugby there by Wynberg, held on to the ball and forced the penalty. It's just worth the mention, that front row of SACS is incredible. Ethan Berger, Anita Kalipa and Josh Barrett, they look like they have the dominant scrum at this moment, and that's going to be vitally important carrying on into this match.
Experienced front row, all of them played over 30 games for SACS over the past 2 years. Pretorius now to narrow the gap. Simple stuff, makes no mistake. 7-3, 12 minutes gone.
Better strike there by Devin Pretorius this time, and he'd be happy to get some points on the board and to just settle the nerves a little. And now an opportunity for Wynberg to field this kick-off, use the wind, kick the ball straight back into the SACS half, and then start playing some rugby again.
You can see the new SACS pavilion in the background. Lecce with the restart. Mika Schubert trying to get to it, and it's bounced for Kapela Mokoena. He can be devastating, the right winger. Kluti. Space on the left, but the pass has gone backwards. Lecce has to mop up. Great running by the fullback. He places it back. Kluti. So Andries, SACS are definitely up for this game.
Definitely up for this game, Justin, and playing really well, tactically doing the right things and carrying strong into contact.
Noche makes a hash of it.
That's great rugby by SACS, Justin. They keep on doing the right things. They carry strong into contact. They've got the wind in their faces. They're keeping the ball on the ground when they kick it and putting a lot of pressure on it. Very difficult to feel the ball in the wet on the ground, and they're doing that right. They're kicking it in behind, getting a strong chase, and they're getting rewards from that.
Imagine if SACS do score from this scrum. Wynberg will have to play catch up if that happens. Kluti with the feed. And it's been spilt. That's a chance gone a begging, Andries.
That's a chance gone a begging. They're not going to get a lot of them in this first half. They have to make use of the opportunities they get into the wind at this stage. Just worth mentioning defensively, because the ball is wet and it's windy and tough to handle, defences have the opportunity to shoot off the line, to put real pressure on the attack behind the game line, and that's how you're going to win this match, Justin. You have to get off the line, make your tackles and compete in a set piece.
Munro, Carl Lamb, and he drops it. Did the ref miss that? It's play on. Lecce has to go back in his own 22, taking his time. Picked up by Lamb, Kyle Lamb with a kick ahead, looking for some space. Anything can happen here. Back to Lecce, who takes contact. Kluti composed at that ruck. Reich with the clearance, but they're not out of the woods. Chance for Berg.
That's the momentum shift that they were looking for, Wynberg. They just needed something to go their way. Good little kick by Carl Lamb in behind with great chase and tackle, and all of a sudden they've got their tails up, attacking line out in the 22-metre line of SACS, and a real opportunity to turn the momentum that this game has had thus far. That's what you want to see from the side, and especially the 9s and 10s playing with the wind, Justin. I can't say this enough. Keep kicking the ball in behind. Put some pressure on them. It's difficult to exit out against this wind. You're going to get an attacking ball in their half, and then you can play rugby. You have to do that as often as you can if you have the wind at your back, because come the second half, it's going to get done to you.
Wynberg, their destiny is in their own hands. They win here today. They are champions of the southern suburbs. But a lot of work to be done. Alexander. Liam Lotz gets it right this time. SACS managing to stop that ball from getting going.
Wynberg just not getting the ability, not being able to hang on to the ball for long enough when they do have it in the attacking space. We've seen it 3 times now. The pass from Dylan Munro just went straight through the hands of the attacking player, and you might think that he might just have to take a little bit of speed off that pass to make it easier for the guys to run onto the ball and secure the position.
Kluti. Brent van Niekerk to Kluti, who looks to find touch.
Decent exit there by Kluti. Got a good strike on that kick, but again, a great scrum by SACS. Ethan Berger, Josh Barrett, Anita Kalipa, they just look dominant at the moment. And having made 2 mistakes, Wynberg still has an opportunity in the half to play some rugby.
So turnover at line-out time. Scrappy stuff from Wynberg. And SACS will definitely take this. Ethan Berger, massive barnstorming run in his last game. Still going. This kid is a machine. Kluti looking for distance. And here's Patrick Shavanga. He has a go. Great off though to Jason Alexander. It's a strong kid. This is better from Wynberg. Mika Schubert, the captain. Tackled by the SACS captain, Craig Berlin. Dylan Munro finds Lutando Orji, the loose head prop. Munro to Nombakuza, who has scored 2 tries in a Wynberg jumper against SACS over the years. Alexander, another carry from the champion player, Liam Lotz. So can Wynberg capitalise and take the lead? Mika Schubert. Kyle Lamb to Devin Pretorius, good hands. Here's Halu with the out the door back pass. Side Fakir to Patrick Shavanga on the left wing. And Lotz spills it.
Unfortunate there for Lotz, just spilling that ball after what looked like a promising start to attacking phase of play there, Justin. Incredible to see what these boys can do in these weather conditions once they put their minds to it. Some great offloads, out the back passes there by Inga Halu, and they look extremely dangerous at the moment.
Capello Mokoena, 2 seasons at first team level. Missed a lot of the season due to injury. And Josh Barrett, well, they've just been phenomenal. The SACS front row over the past 2 years. Anadi Kalipa, the hooker, was Academy Week last year. So can SACS get out of trouble? Reich. A wayward kick. It's a penalty to Berg.
That's something you never thought you'd see. The ball come straight back at you as a forward. You look like you had a good strike on that. You don't retrieve the 10 meters and the ball comes back at you and get penalized for it. worth mentioning also, Captain Craig Berlin, he's been phenomenal on the defence. He's lit up the SACS defensive line. He's made some really good tackles behind the defence or the advantage line and put a lot of pressure on Wynberg.
Just under 15 minutes to go. SACS 7, Wynberg 3. Munro feeds, but it goes down.
Interesting, Justin, them opting for the scrum. They are under pressure in the scrums. Ethan Berger, Josh Barrett, we've mentioned this. They're putting a lot of pressure on them in the scrums. Though Lutando Warji is a Cranwick player and he's an extremely good scrummager in his own right, but not having the confidence to go for the line out in these weather conditions. Very interesting call.
Bragging rights. That's what it comes down to, especially for SACS, but for Wynberg it's a whole lot more after a phenomenal season. It's there for Munro to Lamb on the switchboard at Devon Pretorius over the advantage line. Side Fakir with the pick and go. Ingahalu getting close. It's not pretty, but they're really close, Berg. It is a war zone. Edging their way closer and closer. Nombakuza. Penalty.
Penalty. Wynberg and a lot of pressure on the SACS defence at the moment. Wynberg doing well to hold on to the ball. Inga Halu being instrumental in getting him go forward. And a fantastic opportunity here for Jason Alexander.
And Alexander, and he spills it.
Spills it. Jason Alexander, he's a better player than that, Justin. He scored so many tries during the year. And he knows that he can fix this.
Wynberg bombed a massive opportunity there. Tuti feeds. Van Niekerk going on his own this time. The 8th man. Reich with the clearance. Well, how much longer can SACS play in their own half, Andries? They've done well to keep Wynberg out.
They've done extremely well to keep Wynberg out. They defensively, they've just been tremendous. A lot of character and courage shown to keep the Wynberg boys out. You don't know how long, for how much longer they can hold on to, but if they can see out this half, Justin, it'll go a long way to winning this match.
Another line-out, Connor Bigging for Wynberg. They're not looking like themselves at the moment, and SACS are loving this. Of course, SACS are the underdogs, but in a derby game like this, that goes out the window basically. Anything can happen. As we approach the final 10 minutes of the half.
This wind is tricky, Justin. As we look at Dean Reich getting some attention. It's been a messy first half, not a lot of opportunities. SACS making the best of the one that they did get 7 points on the board. And ever since then, Wynberg have been just ferocious in their attack, but unsuccessful thus far. 10 minutes left in this half. They need to get on the board. They need to get a lead going to the second half. Not very successful thus far in this match with the lineouts. Jason Alexander probably feeling the pressure a little. when making it tough to get the ball up and easy to compete in the front of the line out.
Mika Schubert, the skipper, Kyle Lamb to Fakir. The blindside flanker. Monroe gives it to Jason Alexander. Always gets over the advantage line, the hooker. Yes, Inga Halu. Still going. It's there for Monroe. He finds lots. Wynberg need to capitalise. They've had so much ball. It's Alexander again. Monroe goes on his own. Wynberg desperately looking for their first score. It's trench warfare out there. Alexander with the pick and go. Monroe works the short side to Numba Kuze. Carl Lamb. So much possession for Wynberg, and here's big Inga Halu. SACS courageous in defense, and they are definitely playing like it's their last game of the season. Pretorius at first receiver. It's there for Noche. Space on the left, but he goes on his own. Dylan Monroe. Side Fakir, another carry for the flanker. Oh, Wynberg serious about this game. Pretorius. And finds a player on his left. Great collision there. Getting in Monroe's face. Chaser Monis. Monroe with a cross kick. Nombakuza giving chase.
Referee playing advantage for tackling the scrum off without the ball early on, Justin. Can't come through and play the 9 if the ball's not out and he doesn't have his hands on the ball. So look at the replay. I'll tell you what, Cameron Ablogan, he must be happy to get his pants wet or his pants dirty, because he's been standing out there freezing in this weather and he got a bit of action.
You'll be hoping for more action. The grade 11 scored a few tries in 2018. Mika Schubert and Jason Alexander just having a conversation there with Yaku Smith, the referee. Dylan Monroe and Reese Price also in picture. The Berg machine. Well, they're looking pretty jolly, but it'll be interesting to see what they look like in about 30 or so minutes when we enter the business end of the game.
Again, opting for the scrum as opposed to taking the line out this close to the SACS try line. A lot of pressure on the front row at the moment, Justin. Just worth mentioning that defensively, in these conditions, it's easy to send numbers into the defensive breakdown to slow down the ball, get your line set, and then you can just shoot off the line and make it really tough for an attack to get over the advantage line.
Can Berg put the hammer down? Monroe to Kyle Lamb, hitting the line. Played in every game this year. Monroe to Mika Schubert, the skipper. Penalty advantage, and SACS have to be careful here.
A lot of pressure on SACS, and that's starting to show in the discipline. It's the third penalty in the 22-meter line in this half, and referee Yaku Smith would have to do something about it. It is stopping the opportunities for Wynberg to get over the line. The penalties allow SACS to reset their defence and have a go at them again. Just worth Captain Mika Schubert having a word with the referee just to remind him that this is the third penalty in the 22-meter line.
It's crazy to think that it's been all Wynberg, but yet they are still behind. And SACS with the only try of the game, with only 2 opportunities really in this half. And Devin Pretorius is going to have a shot at goal.
probably not the worst decision at the moment, Justin. SACS have been defensively strong. They've made it tough for Wynberg to get over the whitewash, kick the 3 points again, field the kickoff, and just knock it down to this part of the field again and start from scratch.
Devin Pretorius, of course, only in grade 11, but he kicks like a veteran. Sends it through. SACS 7, Wynberg 6. Just under 5 minutes to go before the half-time break.
Simple enough kick there for Devin Pretorius. 6 points on the board for him, 6 points on the board for Wynberg. And they'd be keen to get another try just before half-time. We've seen the All Blacks do it in the previous 2 weeks. So these 5 minutes before half-time are extremely important for a team to get the ascendancy. Score in the first 5 minutes before and after half-time, you stand a really good chance of winning the match.
Letcher. Munro. Looking for territory. Reich at the back. Looking composed.
Dean Reich, in my mind, did really well to get back and get a hold of that ball, but in these conditions, he's way better off to take that ball, run it up at the defence and just kick it straight down the park and compete for it in the air. Then have the easy exit, kick it out, and now you've got a line out, Jason Alexander to feed.
Mika Schubert to Kyle Lamb. And big Inga Halu again. He loves to carry the most capped Wynberg player, Inga Halu. See you later. What a try that is. Glorious Wynberg try.
Fantastic. Exceptional stuff by Inga Halu. Got a massive hit to the midfield. Stayed on his feet. Ripped out of the tackle. Beat 1 or 2 for pace. Slid over for a 5-pointer.
What a champion. Hostile head boy. Inga Halu in his 3rd season in a Wynberg first team jumper. Of course, in his first season he was playing hooker, and he is a character of note. And this might just set the Wynberg party.
Good hit there in the midfield by Dean Reich. Inga Halu spins out, one hand off, wheels to burn. Fantastic images these are. He'd remember this for the rest of his life, and a fantastic finish. 5 points. Inga Halu, what a champion.
He is pumped. And of course, Numba Kuze, well, he's been there with him the whole time. Also his 3rd season of first team rugby. And then they have a grade 11 to convert the kick. Pretorius getting in his stride.
Good kick, Devin Pretorius, and critical for Wynberg to get on the board there. 1 minute, 1.5 minutes to go in this half. Maybe another opportunity to get on the board, but crucial for them to get into the lead before half-time.
So, Wynberg 13, SACS 7. Do SACS have a reply before half-time? Wynberg, of course, are a difficult team to stop when they get in their stride. And Sean Menard, the giraffe, giving chase to the battering ram. And here's Munro. Dean Reich. And this could go anywhere in these conditions. Tapped back, play on. Brent van Niekerk, Ethan Berger to Mokoena. Great carry there. Bakabelo Mokoena. Jordan Thomas to the inside ball to Sean Menard. What a soldier he has been for his school over the past 2 years. Also actually got a cap for the first team in 2016. So a lot of experienced campaigners on the field. Here's Reich, the man who scored the opening try. Kluti. So this game is starting to look like a proper derby. Kalipa. Mazulo is over it. Cloete looking right and left. Sending it to Brent van Niekerk. Masulo having a stab. Almost getting through. Josh Barrett. Here comes the SACS party. Asperling to Kalipa. Great hands to Cameron Apeglin. Beats Kyle Lamb. And that's gone forward. Costly blow there, Andries.
Costly blow. Good attacking rugby from SACS. They look really dangerous when they have the ball in hand, Justin. They're keeping hold of it. They're stretching the Wynberg defense. A little dart there by Ben Mazulo. We've not seen a lot of him today, but I'm sure as the game goes on, as they get the wind at their back, they'll have the ball in their hands more often, and we can see more of this Josh Barrett going forward.
And that's half time. Wynberg 13, SACS 7. We've seen 2 tries. One from SACS in the form of Dean Reich, who gathered his own kick. And then, well, it took a while for Wynberg to get in their stride. And Inga Halu, a flash of inspiration, Andries, with a cracking try. Thoughts?
Yeah, it was a good half of rugby. I thought that SACS did really well defensively. They had one opportunity which they used. Kyle Lamb with a kick over the top, scored the try, 7 points up, and they made Wynberg work really hard for the 13 points that they got. On their side, Wynberg probably be a little bit disappointed with not having an extra couple points on the board.
We're leaving you for the halftime commercial. Wynberg 13, SACS 7 with 35 minutes to go. .35 minutes to go for one of the oldest schoolboy rugby rivalries in the country of 2018. Wynberg are in front against SACS at 13 points to 7. And we see in picture there Justin van Vinkel, the coach of Wynberg. And did these group of players ever believe that they would be in a position to possibly win a triple crown after not beating a single Southern Suburb opposition, Andries, in 2017? It's amazing how a season can turn.
It's an amazing turnaround for Wynberg, and it must be a special group of players with a really strong bond to turn something like that around. Losing becomes a habit, and it's extremely tough to turn that around. They've done really well this season. They've played some good rugby. They've got some fantastic individuals in their side, and a really critical 35 minutes staring them in the face at the moment. They will have the wind in their faces. They'll have to do a lot of defending, and they're going to have to show a lot of character to keep the SACS team out.
Both schools enjoying each other. Inter-schools, what an occasion it is. A rivalry which has been played for many years. And of course it's a tight rivalry as well. In the last 23 occasions between these two sides, Wynberg have slightly had the upper hand in winning 13 times and SACS winning 10. And Wynberg folk will of course remember the glory years between 2012 and 2014, where their worst results against the Southern Suburbs came in the form of a draw against Rondebosch in 2013. SACS, on the other hand, well, they've been dominant over Wynberg since the beginning of 2016. Also on the back of a great season, SACS last year. This season hasn't been the same, although they've been a little bit unlucky with their results, losing by a few points. And in fact, the Southern Suburb Triple Crown competition has really been tight in the second term, all games being decided by less than 5 points.
SACS's Ross Letchers looking to start the second half, and they'd be looking forward to have the wind at their backs and make use of this massive advantage they will have in the second half.
Letcher. Interesting there, take by Noche, not deciding to let it bounce and maybe go possibly over the dead ball line. Munro with a slippery old kick. So can SACS take the opportunity? Ethan Berger in his final 35 minutes for his school. Jordan Thomas with a great slip pass to Craig Berlin. How hungry are SACS? That is the question. Kalipa back to Berger. And no doubt that SACS's leaders in their team really want to go out with a win after giving so much to the school. Joshua Barrett is one of them. Beating one, and it's good defense by Wynberg. Liam Notch trying to cause havoc for Wynberg. Great slip pass from Reich to Craig Berlin. Played over 40 games for SACS. Asperling, the grade 11, finds contact. Clutie's there. Good hands from Jordan Thomas. No surprise that he's a good water polo player as well. Clutie to Ethan Berger. Asperling. SACS lucky enough to get that back. Ethan Berger, he does have a lot of tricks. He has the giraffe, Manar. SACS just going through the phases. And if they keep going like this, they'll eventually break the line. Josh Barrett. Massive in that collision. Jordan Thomas to Ethan Berger. He has probably carried a rugby ball for 2,000 times over these 2 years for his first team. Sean Manar. Reich. A kick pass for Mokwena. And he's just overcooked that, Andres.
Right idea, execution not perfect. The wind pushing that ball out into the dead ball area. Fantastic vision again by Kyle Lamb to spot the space in behind. Good attacking play by SACS. They kept the ball in hand for quite a few phases. Fantastic to see the ability of these kids to handle the ball in tough conditions.
Wynberg looking to set up some phases. Dylan Munro, the Connor Murray of the Southern Suburbs, gives it to Kyle Lamb. Munro, and he has captain Mika Schubert, runs into Ethan Berger and Craig Berlin. Dylan Munro to Jason Alexander. Munro gives it to Latando Orji. Asperling has to make a tackle. Munro works the short side to Siamtanda Nombakuza. The choke tackle coming in from Manar. But Nombakuza finds some turf. And that's offside. or not.
Good play by Wynberg, opting to keep the ball in hand, feeling it's pointless to kick the ball into this wind, because we'll just give SACS the opportunity to get the ball and kick it deeper into their half. Penalty here. Referee Yucky Smith having a chat to Captain Craig Berlin. And why would we be thinking, why would they not be able to hold? Why were they not able to hold on to the ball like that in the first half?
Well, Andres, of course, Wynberg, they've struggled in the first half in the second term, and they've actually played their better rugby in the second half. But still, it's no excuse, as it could still cost you a game. Munro looking for a promising kick. And what a great game it has been so far.
Just look at the highlights. Player getting tackled off the ball and then getting pushed into an offside position and then in the way. Unlucky, quite unfortunate there, getting pushed into that position and then getting penalised for it. Great line out by Wynberg. You can see there, their line out coach Graham Snoop has done a great job to get them gelled in for this weekend's match.
Nombakuza, the outside centre, punching the defence. Jason Alexander looking for a 6th try this year against SACS. Can you believe it? Dylan Munro, Kyle Lamb. This will be a telling score for the Berg machine. Nicholas Witter, also in his 3rd season of first team rugby. Munro looking right. Devin Pretorius crashing it up. Dylan Munro gives it to Fakir. Munro fires it away with the drive. Try time. Who is coming up with it? Lutando Warji with a big smile on his face.
Lutando Warji, great try, great smile, and what a celebration. Well deserved for the Kramer Week player to get over the whitewash. Lutando Warji, what a moment for him.
I think he saw Wasaki Noholo's celebration last week against Australia.
Look, if you score a try as a prop 4, you have to celebrate all you can, because those don't come too often. Full marks for him for enjoying that as much as he has. Crucial score for Wynberg. We spoke about this, Justin. 5 minutes before halftime, 5 minutes after halftime. Those are the time that you want to get some points on the board. If you look at their captain or Inga Halu carrying strongly, then into the hands of Warji, Lutando Warji. Great leg drive, staying on his feet, kept fighting. Dean Reich trying his best to stop him, but no match for the Craven Week front row forward.
Although there's still 30 minutes to go, Wynberg are looking like it's their game to lose. It's their cup to lose and their season to lose. 13 points up. Is there a twist for SACS? Berg starting to jolt. And a chance now for SACS to get back into the game.
This is what they have to do, Justin. They have to get into this half of the field. Rightly calmed down by Anita Kalipa. Tell the boys, listen, let's settle down. Let's take this opportunity and let's capitalize from this. Another 27 minutes left in this match. They're only behind by 13 points, 2 scores, and they're there. Important for them to make use of these opportunities.
Shout out to Liberty and School Sports Live for making this stream possible. It is wonderful to be able to watch schoolboy rugby from anywhere in the world. And remember to keep interacting with us on all social media platforms. Wynberg, an opportunity. Kluti to Reich. Switchboard to Mokoena. Trying to break the defensive line. Big penalty there for Berg.
Great steal there by Wynberg. Phenomenal stuff. Reserve player on the park, getting his hands dirty soon in his contributions to this match, and this is a welcome relief or reprieve for the Wynberg side. They're going to have to show a lot of character to close out this match.
Mokoena. Capella Mokoena. A strong and explosive player. Clutie finds Reich to Jordan Thomas. Slips it to Ethan Berger. How much does Berger have left in him? For one last swan song. Dean Reich back on the inside. Clutie peels it away to Asperling. Mazzulo. Also an experienced campaigner. Ethan Berger looking to get over the advantage line. Wynberg score here. They're right back in it. Letcher with a skip ball to Cameron Napiglin. Great defense from Wynberg.
Devin Pretorius with a telling tackle there, and another good couple of phases set up by SACS, and not getting a lot of reward from it. Wynberg definitely looks set for this match. They are very motivated. Defensively they're strong. They're making their tackles and making it extremely tough for SACS to break them down.
Cameron Napiglin in picture. Just had one defender in front of him then. And the boys from Lovers Walk, they are about 25 minutes away from something special, unless SACS have something to say about that. Just a break for an injury. Looks like Lutando Warji is down. It'll be a disappointing end for him.
Will be a real shame. He's been extremely influential in this match. One of the senior players in the Wynberg team, and definitely one that they want on the park for a full 70 minutes. How influential has Ethan Berger and Joshua Barrett been carrying ball for SACS? They put their hand up, keen to get their hands on the ball, keen to make the yards for their team, get them on the front foot, and they'll need another 25 minutes of that from both those players to try and get back into this match.
Alexander. Good take from Schubert. Wynberg getting some yards off the rolling maul. Warji up on his feet. The kid's a freak. Liam Lotz, the enforcer. Dylan Munro calling the shots. The Wynberg scrum off. You don't want to kick it to Capella Mokoena. He finds Mazzulo. So what can SACS do? Craig Berlin. They've had enough ball. Asperling. Clutie to Jean Menard. Back on the inside to Thurston Clutie. Sean Menard having a go. Josh Barrett this time. The Berg Machines defense looking really tight at the moment. Two SACS have an answer through Mazzulo. And that's gone forward.
Mazzulo just forcing that pass, doing well to stay on his feet, and unfortunately losing control of that. And that's as a result of the pressure that Wynberg are putting on SACS at the moment. They're not giving them any yards. They've actually caught them behind the gain line every single time. As you look at the Wynberg defense, good line speed, little step there by Ben Mazzulo, and unfortunate not to get that ball away to his captain Craig Berlin. And this is what will win this match for Wynberg now. Justin, is purely the defense and the character and the gut shown to keep out SACS.
To the Munro, his senior Matthew Doyle, who played last year in the first team jumper, is now playing for the Sharks in under 19. Another massive run from Ingahalu. Munro looking for territory. It's to Mokwena. Ross Letcher decides to play safety first. Wandile Noche beats one. Great running by the grade 11. And here's Alexander. Really played with his heart on his sleeve. And it looks like Reta Bilelo is on the field. Player number 23. And Alexander, gee whiz, he gets through a lot of work. Kyle Lamb guarding the base. Munro throws a dummy. On halfway now. Mika Schubert, the vice head boy of Wynberg. Kyle Lamb plays at scrum off. Here's Alexander again. Ethan Berger trying to poach it. Side Fakir, the Trojan. Munro, and it's been charged down. Kyle Lamb has to clean up. Mizulo makes a hit. Harley at scrum off. Reta Bilelo.
Good offence again by SACS, and Wynberg opting to keep the ball in hand, forcing their penalty there.
Tap and go from Ethan Berger. Looks like SACS have got the feeling that they need to get a 7-pointer. And then anything can happen. It's far from over. Sean Manar with the offload. Brent van Niekerk. Robin Aspeling. Here comes a try for SACS in the form of Capella Mokwena, and SACS are back in the game.
SACS are back in the game, Justin. Great finish by Capella Mokwena. And Aspeling just holding the ball up long enough to draw the defender's turn to put his winger away. And Ethan Berger, fantastic decision to take the quick tap, put some pressure on the Wynberg defense, and duly rewarded with 5 points. And now anything can happen. Very important kick here coming for Kabela Mokwena. Anything can happen in this match. Another 18 minutes left, and so much to look forward to.
This kick goes over. Anything can happen, and it's amazing how things can change. Wynberg looking like they're in the clear, and then look at this. Kluti, great pass to Sean Manar. What an offload this was to Brent van Niekerk, the 8th man. Found Robin Aspeling, and then you're never going to stop Kabela Mokwena, who says we are not out of this.
Great character shown by the SACS team. Ethan Berger leading from the front, and he's been instrumental in this team in this performance today. Leading from the front, getting his team on the front foot, and a 5-point reward.
Track to the left there by Mokwena. So Wynberg, well, they breathe a sigh of relief there, Andres.
Sigh of relief, 8 points difference at the moment. And they'll have to score twice, SACS, if they want to win this match. They do have the wind at their back and every advantage and every opportunity to come back and win this match against a very, very strong Wynberg team.
Munro. It's not over till it's over. Thurston Kluti. And has he overcooked that? He has. It's a costly blow.
Unfortunate error by Kluter, by Thurston Kluter. Just overcooked that kick slightly. Does have the wind at his back, so probably not need to kick the ball all the way that long. But line out, Wynberg ball, and they've been good in the second half when they did have the ball in their hands.
It's a good chance for Berg to close out the game. If they can get the next points. most of these kids only have about 15 minutes left for their schools in a first team jumper. Who wants it more? SACS dismantle the ball. It's there for Munro to the battering ram, Ingahalu. What a legend he has been. And he has another great in the form of Alexander the Great. Dylan Munro probing. Kyle Lamb feeds it away to Alexander. Kyle Lamb with a flat pass there to Ingahalu. The big don't argue. This kid is a machine. Mika Schubert. Berg looking to cash in. Halu at scrum off to Liam Lotz. This is where Berg had been good the whole season, late in the second half. Munro to Warji, possibly sniffing a second. Munro to Lamb, short ball there to Tevin Pretorius. Munro, numbers on the left, Shirley Nombakuza, Patrick Shavanga. Could that be all?
Fantastic finish, Patrick Shavanga. Tremendous rugby being played by the Wynberg team. Patient rugby, kept hold of the ball. Good ball carries, good leg drives. It looks like Jason Alexander, Inga Halu, those are the two boys they look for when they need some go forward, and they certainly gave it in that build up to the try. And then the vision by fly half Kyle Lamb to send the ball out wide in the right moment for Patrick Shavanga to get over for well-deserved 5 points.
Wynberg looking like a composed outfit. They don't want the season to end. They want to keep scoring tries like this. Shavanga, 2-try Euro last week against Bishops, and now he has a try in his final game for the Berg. Devin Pretorius with a tough kick. And the Berg machine, or the party, they want to get it started. But still a bit of work to do.
Wynberg started extremely slow in this match, made a lot of mistakes, but as the match has gone on, they started playing better and better and better rugby. And it does seem like they prefer the wind in their faces. It allows them to hold on to the ball, test their skills and carry into the defence. They've certainly turned this game around, the momentum favouring them 100% at this stage.
One player who has been really responsible for that has been big Inga Halu with that first try to Wynberg, which just sparked them. Munro plays a lot of confidence, this player, but this time he spills it. Chance for SACS to get back into the game. Berlin to Sean Menor with the offload. It's still on here for Thurston Clutie. Gets it wide. And another chance gone a begging Andres.
Yes, just as you think SACS are going to get back into this match, they do spoil the ball on the last part. Thurston Clutie doing well in the build up to that. And happy to play. Look at the Giraffe get the ball away. Some very good offloads. Get your hands on the ball, son. Clutie picking up the scraps. An unfortunate pass just going in front of Aberglen.
Liam Lotz making no mistake. SACS getting desperate, and as a result it's a penalty to Wynberg.
Wynberg playing with a lot of confidence, like you rightly said earlier today, Justin. And as the match has gone on, they've just grown and grown in confidence. Utando Warji, he's been instrumental today. He's been influential and one of the players they look to for go forward.
Jason Alexander, those of you who remember in the first game against SACS this season, he scored a hat-trick in the last 10 minutes to add to his initial 2 tries. Ross Letcher finds Cameron Abeglin. Is there a spark here? For SACS, Mokoena. This could be sensational. He's still going. Kabela Mokoena. What a run. SACS are still alive. Ethan Berger. Berger. Wonderful from Ethan Berger in his final game. SACS are not out of this.
Ethan Berger with a phenomenal finish, build up there by Kabela Mokoena, ball weighing forward but backwards out of the hands, and then the wind pushing it forward, and the Wynberg boys stopped playing, and Kabela Mokoena, he saw some space, took it, and then Ethan Berger, front row forward, cricketer, and some pace to burn.
We just see Beglin and Mokoena. Well, this is magic. This is like Rico Ioane almost going all the way. And then he had Ethan Berger with him. Great strength shown by the right winger. And this is just sensational stuff. We'll see Ethan Berger in years to come. Definitely really unlucky to not make any Western Province youth team, Andres.
Definitely so. Just an extremely talented player is Ethan Berger. Ross Letcher not being successful with that kick at goal. And again, 8 points in it, Justin. 10 minutes to go, and a lot can still happen in this match.
Wynberg 25, SACS 17. And considering the weather, we've had an absolute blinder. SACS are like a rash that's not going away. Munro, the kick into the 22. SACS have 9.5 minutes. Craig Berlin, the captain. They can't kick this out on the full SACS. Dylan Munro finds Kyle Lamb. Sets off on a run. Great running from the fly-off. Munro probing the short side to Patrick Shavanga. Great stuff. James Pearce is on the field. Here's Alexander again. He's really explosive, this kid. Waji, Lutando Waji, been one of the standouts in this fixture. Has that gone forward? It has. SACS, well, you get the feeling they're going to have to keep the ball if they've got any chance in these final minutes.
Scrum off, good defence by SACS, and Justin, don't necessarily agree with you there. They've got the win at their backs. They can kick this ball 80 metres down the field, get their hands back on it and have a crack at getting some more points on the board. What a finish we have to this match. 8 minutes to go. Both teams going extremely hard to get the victory out here today. Worth a mention, referee Yucca Smith's been exceptional. Hey, not too much to complain for. He's managed his game well, tough conditions, and we've seen a spectacle.
Important scrum for SACS. Let's see what they do. They look for distance. And that's not a great kick at all. It's a chance now really for Wynberg to put the icing on the cake if they do score next.
Yes, it was a disappointing kick by Klutz. He didn't get the purchase he would have wanted of that. So often that you see when you do have the wind at your back, players don't use it effectively, and it's almost working against them as opposed to working for them.
Skew throw. Of course, an amazing new pavilion that SACS have. Of course, SACS had to play most of their games at the beginning of the season away from home, and that's why a beautiful piece of work And you can watch rugby on the Spencer Smith field from there as well. Clutie finds Reich. They're going to have to go the distance here. Letcher has to take contact. Could something special happen? It's going to have to come from 90 meters plus. Mazulo, he is one of those players who could definitely do it. Sean Menard throws a dummy. Spilt there by Ian Patterson. And of course his father played many a game for Western Province. Ian actually had a brain tumour last year, and in a short space of time he's recovered after a successful operation. And what a remarkable story that is.
Really remarkable, Justin, to come back from a brain tumour in a space of a year's time and play the rugby that he has today and throughout the season is an exceptional story, and something that he as a player can be extremely proud of.
The great thing is he's also only in grade 11, so he'll be back next year. Munro, it's there for Halu. Munro with the dab ahead for 1D there. Noche, what a try, scintillating stuff. What a kick ahead by Munro.
Great vision by Dylan Munro to get the kick in behind. Deft touch, just enough on it to get it over the line, and a fantastic finish by Noche. And am I correct in saying, Justin, that 6 years ago another Noche scored at the end of the match to get a win for Wynberg?
Well, of course, his relative Sikumbuze Noche, a Springbok 6 years ago through the day on the 25th of August 2012. It was his try which gave Wynberg a clean sweep in the southern suburbs, 2 triple crowns, and now Wandile has something to shout about.
So look at the highlights over here. Inga Holu with a pass, and then Dylan Munro. Fantastic little kick in behind. Great chase there by Noche, and a very good finish. Not the easiest thing in the world to pick up a ball at full pace in the wet, and he's done really well to finish, and well deserved. Dylan Munro, he's been exceptional today. He's been really influential, made some really good decisions, kept his team on the front foot.
And that's a pile of Wynberg joy. Just missed that from Devin Pretorius. A season which has been laced in silver by Wynberg, and surely now it should be all over. Something had to happen now. It'd be a rugby miracle, especially after a kick like that. Andres, who's your Liberty man of the match?
It's been a phenomenal match, Justin, and so many boys put their hands up. An extremely good team effort from Wynberg into the wind to come up with more points than SACS in the second half. And some guys, Dylan Munro, we just mentioned him, Lutando Warji, he's been phenomenal. Jason Alexander's had another strong game, as he always does, but my man of the match for today's match, Inga Halu, phenomenal try. He scored in the first half. He turned the momentum in this match single-handedly, got his team on the front foot and inspired them for what is going to be an exceptional win.
A tight head. Brent van Niekerk. So can SACS end off with a positive piece of play on Memorial Day? Slip pass there by Berlin to Ian Patterson. Clutie away to Reich. Here's Ethan Berger. Still going. He knows the laws, this fella. Clutie, Joshua Barrett hitting the line hard. Penalty to SACS. Surely tap and go. Clutie does so. A kick ahead. And an easy one there for Shavanga.
A kick ahead by Turson Clute, and a decision he probably wouldn't have taken if he had to make it again. Fortunate result for them. Ball carried over the try line, and a 5-meter scrum for SACS. 1.5 minutes to go. Is this opportunity for them to get something out of this match?
Yaku Smith has done an outstanding job in difficult conditions.
Phenomenal stuff by Wynberg, just fighting to keep themselves in this match in the beginning of this game, to come away with a win into the win in the second half. Just speaks to the amount of character this team has.
And from that scrum with a tight head, Ingahalu peeling away with it. Here's Mika Schubert. And Wynberg, well, in the second 35 minutes, they have certainly looked like champions of the Burbs. Ingahalu, he doesn't want his schoolboy rugby career to end. Munro, Lamb to Patrick Shavanga, beating Anadi Kalipa. SACS get it back. Can they score? Dean Reich. Devin Pretorius holding up. Good offload there to keep it alive. It's intercepted by Siamtanda Nombakuza, but we are coming back for the infringement.
SACS throwing everything at them at the moment. Wynberg, again, a lot of character to keep them out. Defensively strong, and this is the last scrum of the match. Another opportunity for Ethan Berger, Joshua Barrett to do what they love most, and that is to scrum.
Kluti feeds. Dean Reich to Capella Mokwena, looking for a second. It's almost over. But do they have a last try in them? Tap and go from Kluti.
Game just going a little messy towards the end of it. Time's up and a win for Wynberg. We've seen a spectacle today, Justin, in these difficult conditions. The rain did stay away for most of the match. The wind never died down. These boys have done exceptionally well to play the kind of rugby they have. They've played smart rugby. They've used the conditions mostly to their own advantage. The handling was crisp at times and a lot of character from both sides. And this guy has been immense.
Ethan Berger with a good run and pop to Craig Berlin. Yes, Josh Barrett. They want to end the game with a try. Kluti to Reich, almost spoils it. Ethan Berger driven back in the tackle by Lutando Woji. Kluti, Reich. Full time. Wynberg are champions of the southern suburbs. And it's like the glory days again for Wynberg folk. Their best season since 2014. And they have cemented their position in the top 10 in South Africa. What a performance from Wynberg. A slow start in the first half, Andres. But then you could just see that it was their form from this season that really came through when they got settled down.
Very slow start for them. They looked a bit shaky, made a lot of mistakes during the first half. And that try by Ingahalu, that inspired them. This guy running with the ball, he's just been immense, Ingahalu. He's inspired them with that long-range try he scored at the back of the first half. It's turned the momentum in this match. If you look at it again, this is him, Ingahalu scoring at first try, just breaking through, getting this team behind him, and that changed the momentum in this game. Gave them a lot of confidence, and the rest of the team just followed and into the win in the second half. They did really well to keep hold of the ball and score 17 points against only the one try from SACS.
The party will carry on all year for the lads from Lovers Walk. 3.5 kilometers away, they'll be dancing in the streets of Lovers Walk and Wynberg tonight, Andries, that's for sure. They've waited a long time for this moment. The last Triple Crown, Mika Schubert probably can't believe it. He was in grade 8 the last time they managed to do so. It's full time here on Memorial Day. Wynberg cement their position at 8th in the country. Wynberg 30, SACS 17. And thank you for joining us. What a cracker of a game.